Carry structures. They're the bedrock of how general partners get paid, the sweet reward for steering limited partners' capital into great ventures. But there's a secret few talk about openly. What if those carry structures, as they stand, are broken beyond repair? What if the very system that lines your pockets is quietly slicing through your potential, adding risk where it shouldn't, fueling misalignment, and shackling innovation? This isn't just theory. This is the pulse beating under the surface of every fund, every deal meeting, every pitch deck. It's your competition's blind spot, your industry's silent flaw, and if it's not cracked open, you'll keep running in circles. Think about that for a moment. Every single carry agreement you've negotiated, every hurdle rate set, every clawback provision, all of those were supposed to align incentives, to create harmony between GP and LP. But what if instead they sow seeds of mistrust and create pressure points where innovation suffocates? It's the invisible friction gnawing at the edges of your deals, the tension that makes collaboration harder than it needs to be, the slow bleed behind the scenes that no one dares to confront out loud. This isn't a comfortable truth, and that's why you haven't seen it aired this way before. The world of private equity and venture capital has grown comfortable with its own rituals, its own accepted best practices. But comfort kills. It kills the restless fire inside the true change makers, the ones who see possibility where others see risk, the ones ready to break the mold, but held back by outdated incentives that reward safety and conformity more than radical value creation. Now, here's where most miss the point. The solution isn't in tweaking the percentages or rearranging waterfalls. It's not about chasing some new formula or adopting another calculator from last quarter's newsletter. Number. The answer lies deeper, so deep that most won't even recognize what they're missing. At the core, carry structures aren't just numbers. They're a reflection of underlying beliefs about trust, alignment, and freedom within partnerships. And those beliefs? They're cracked, fragile, and in desperate need of reinvention. The legitimacy of conventional carry depends on assumptions that no longer hold, that partners have symmetrical information, that timelines are fixed, that all parties are equally motivated by the same incentives, that value flows linearly, and that risk can be neatly compartmentalized. These are myths. They are illusions. They bind the exceptional to a borrowed framework, one designed for safety, predictability, and replication, not for liberation, not for transformation, not for becoming. Imagine what happens when those illusions are pulled apart. When the rigid scaffolding of carry is replaced with a system built on dynamic trust, on shared ownership of not just the gains, but the journey itself. A system where the GP and LP aren't locked in a game of inevitability and clawback paranoia, but are instead co-creators in a living ecosystem of opportunity. What if carry isn't just a fee, but a fluid, evolving alignment that grows with the venture, adapts with risk, and honors each party's unique timing and contribution? That's not fantasy. It is the cutting edge. It is the underground revolution waiting to erupt in your inbox, in your boardroom, in your fund terms. But you have to dare to believe it, because the world does not reward those who remain complacent. It favors the disruptors, the ones who see past the standard, carry into something far more potent. Let's unpack the brutal truth first. Carry as it exists forces you into false choices. You must choose between maximizing short-term gains and cultivating long-term trust. You must pick between protecting your back with rigid clawback clauses or embracing vulnerability to unlock true partnership. You have to decide whether to prioritize scale or depth of engagement, speed or alignment. Every choice feels like a trade-off, and trade-offs breed compromise. Compromise breeds mediocrity. But here's the spark that could ignite your change. What if you stopped seeing carry as a transaction to be harvested and started seeing it as a living contract to be nurtured? This means creating carry structures tied explicitly to behaviors, not just output. Carry that rewards exponential leaps, not just linear growth. Carry that flexes when the market shifts instead of locking everyone into rigid timelines. Carry that incorporates ongoing learning, real-time feedback, and adaptive governance. Step aside from the traditional carry waterfall and imagine a carry system powered by real-time performance metrics linked directly to agreed-upon value milestones, where incentives adjust dynamically based on the evolution of the portfolio, where risk and reward aren't binary but coexist in a fluid continuum. This can be engineered with smart contracts that automate distribution triggers, but more importantly, it can be built on radical transparency and trust. This, right here, is the extraordinary opportunity for you as a general partner and investor. You're not just signing carry agreements, you're architects of an emergent future that scorns the tired rules and rejects the comfort of how things have always been done. This reimagined carry unlocks something far greater than just more fees. It unlocks energy, alignment, and courage. You liberate your own will, your own fire, to build a portfolio that rewards not just financial outcomes, but authentic partnership and shared mission. Feeling uneasy? Good. That discomfort means you're wrestling with something real. Major shifts always come with tension. It's the friction of breaking free from the familiar, and that friction is needed. It forges resilience, sharpens clarity, and burns away the illusions of false stability. If carry is so foundational and historic, why not interrogate it ruthlessly? Why not strip away every assumption and rebuild it from the ground up with clarity and boldness? Here's a brutal advice you won't get at a conference or in a pitch deck. Stop treating carry as a zero-sum game. The world of carry today pits GP and LP as adversaries in a complex dance of checks, balances, and distrust. But it doesn't have to be that way. The best carry frameworks embody cooperation, fluidity, and recognition that value is created in layers, not fixed slices. Think about how your most successful investments weren't just about capital injection. They were about shared vision, relentless iteration, tactical flexibility, mutual respect. Your carry structure should mirror that reality. The future is about structuring incentives that don't just reward the exit, but reward the journey, the adaptation, the pivot, the unseen sacrifices. The days of fixed hurdle rates and kickers as blunt instruments are over. The carry you deserve is one that captures the full rhythm of value creation, not just its final chord. How to get there? Begin with radical honesty about what actually motivates you and your partners. Flush out the unspoken tensions, the fears behind steep hurdles, the protectionism behind clawbacks, the complacency behind industry standards. Then push your agreements to be living documents, contracts that evolve alongside your ventures and partnerships, not shackles that trap you in old thinking. Demand transparency and performance data, and be willing to expose your own wins and failures alike. Align carry with principles of sovereignty and selectivity. Only the few who are truly committed to shared transformation deserve to benefit from carry designed to unlock full potential. This is not about mass appeal or catching every dollar. It's about forging deep links between real creators, the rare minds who refuse to settle, the partners who burn as you burn. In practical terms, experiment with hybrid carry models. Layer rewards based on milestones, governance participation, and shared learning. Explore time-weighted carry that values early sacrifices, long-term patience, and effort beyond money put on the table. Use tech tools to embed agility into your terms. Most importantly, create forums for open dialogue with your LPs where the purpose of carry is debated and refined continuously. If this sounds like an uphill climb, that's because it is. Revolutionary change never was easy. But here's the kicker. Carry structures can either chain you to the past or catapult you into a future of connection, freedom, and unprecedented wealth creation. Which will you choose? To be trapped in quiet desperation by outdated paradigms, or to ignite the network of brilliance waiting to be unleashed? Remember, the status quo is fragile, and the system you inherited was never built for those who burn with exceptional fire. Only a radical re-envisioning of Carey structures can fuel the liberation you crave, not just for yourself, but for the network of creators you lead and invest alongside. Aligning incentives with true partnership, fluidity, and transformation is how you transcend the comfort of rules and enter a realm of real impact and freedom. So if you're done bending, done waiting, done playing by the old rule book, you're ready. Ready to interrogate everything, question every assumption, and dare to rewrite the structure of Carey to serve the wildest ambitions not bound by old chains. Because Carey broken is no longer a crisis. It's a call to become more. It is the crack where light floods in, showing a path to creation that honors individuality, demands sovereignty, embraces complexity, and celebrates the rare few who will remake the future together. That is the future of Carey. It is not given. It is taken by those with courage, vision, and a relentless refusal to settle. The question is not whether Carey structures can be completely broken. They already are. The real question is, what will you do when the illusion shatters? Will you cling to comfort, or will you build the new?